So let's get into it. All right, so after that one, we've got fitness application. So again, this one again is looking at a couple of questions. So I said to you before, if you in that question where we talk about their program and what they're going to do, you talk about frequency, intensity, time, and type. So you can use that in this answer. Sweet. Cool. All right, but with this answer, we're talking about each of their goals individually. So, say you're training me, and I'm your older client, or I'm a female client, and my goal is that I want to lose 5 kilos, Georgia. That's my goal. All right. You need to talk about my frequency, intensity, time, and type. If that was solely my goal. So if that was solely my goal, how many days a week would I have to train? What intensity would I train at? How long would I have to train for? My rep sets and load, and what type of training would I need to do just for that goal individually? Yeah.
Okay.
And then you need to talk about my second goal. So my second goal is I want to tone up. So then you need to talk about, okay, well, if you want to tone up, what's your frequency of training? What's your intensity of training? What's your time of training? What's your type of training? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my third goal is I want to improve my cardiovascular fitness. Okay. Well, if that was we were only going to solely work on that, what's your frequency? What's your intensity? What's your time? What's your type?
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
So with this answer, you need to use like your anatomy and physiology terminology. So don't just put like, well, we're going to do a lower body session and work on your quads and hamstrings. Yeah, I want you to use like the proper terminology for the proper muscles. And if you're working on building muscle, that's hypertrophy. So you need to use those type of words.
Yeah.
So that's what they second part here says, being sure you use the correct anatomy terminology and the knowledge of anatomy and physiology. So just use those correct terminologies when you're doing this answer.
All right.
Yeah, but as I said, if you've done a good part of that first one, you can then use that in this one and move and kind of manipulate it in your favor.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So the next part are looking at like physiological adaptation. So we did this, and Rob talks a lot about this in his video in 1A. Like, so what are the things that change? Like, how's the body change and how the body adapt when they train? Cardiovascular system, muscular system, endurance, flexibility, etc., etc. So you need to talk about, okay, well, if my client does what I say up here, what are those physiological changes that I'm going to see over like a 10-week period?
Oh, cool. All right.
Does that make sense? So stuff like, well, over a 10-week period, physiological adaptations that I would expect to see throughout their training would be that they would increase their cardiovascular fitness. This is because we're going to be training 3 days a week, at a 70% intensity, and talk about why you think they're going to increase their cardiovascular fitness.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I think so, yeah. That one, yeah.
You think so?
Detail.
Say again?
So I basically have to make sure I just go into detail and like explain why he or she, whatever, would increase in cardio fitness or why they would increase in strength. And like you'd have to explain why they would.
Yeah. Exactly right. Yeah. Awesome. All right. And then it says, explain the limitations as a fitness instructor when providing healthy eating. Okay. So you're doing this in module 4 right now, where you're looking at like where your limitations are as a fitness professional. So if you haven't got to this part in module 4, then just leave it, because you literally answer this question in module 4, and all you'll do is just copy what you put in module 4 and paste it in here. Sweet. So if you haven't got up to that part yet, no dramas. You'll get up to it soon. But if you have got up to that part, just use that answer and paste it in.
Okay.
Cool. Easy. And that's that one done. Any questions?
No.
No.